With that being said, I would love to announce John Swearingen with Lamy's. Put your hands together for him, guys.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. My name is John Swearingen, and OMG, how did that get in there? I'm John Swearingen, and I'm here to talk about a project in downtown Sedalia that we've been doing for about 18 months. And my vow to you today is that I will get through this presentation with limited profanity. Limited. This project is a building on the north side of downtown Sedalia, if you're familiar with it. We started about 18 months ago, and we're rehabbing what was for over 100 years an apparel manufacturing plant. My family's owned the building since 1912, when my great-grandfather bought it from J.A. Lamy, bought the whole business from J.A. Lamy Manufacturing. We started with an idea that we were going to create a community, and a community was going to be built around apartments on the third floor, offices on the second floor, and retail on the first floor. And as we got deeper into it and we realized what would make a really great community, we decided we had to basically build and run the three retail businesses that are going to be on the first floor. We tried to get partners to come in. They did not understand our vision. They didn't really understand what we were creating. And they didn't, I think, really understand what Sedalia is all about and what this marketplace is all about. So on the third floor will be apartments. And there'll be 9 very high-end luxury apartments. Beautiful wood floors, exposed brick, high-end appliances, high security, private parking. These will be apartments that have walk-in showers, freestanding tubs. I mean, these will be nice. And we can do it because we're able to do this project with a building we already own. That space would go for $2,500 to $3,000 in Kansas City, and we'll do it for $1,600 a month, utilities included. So on the second floor will be offices. That's actually a picture of our former lunchroom that's being converted into a space that's about 3,500 square feet. We will actually move our offices back down there. We're in the ADCO offices currently, if you know where that is on Main Street. We'll move our offices back down there because we want to be part of this community. It's going to be kind of cool, we think. These will be very nice, again, wood floors, brick walls, and shared conference room, and access to what will be down on the first floor. So on the first floor, and what really makes the community, we believe, will be 3 businesses that we will open and run ourselves, because we believe it's really important that we get the right mix of businesses in the first floor for the community and for the office and the apartments above. So on the east end of the first floor will be a restaurant and bar called Number 5 Bistro and Bar. Number 5 stems from when we were manufacturing Levi's back in the day. We were their 5th plant ever on planet Earth. So over the years, they amassed hundreds of plants worldwide, and we were number 5. And on the back of every button for most all those years was stamped a number 5. That's how they identified where each pair of pants was made. So in later years, it became 650, and you can still find pants out there that have 650. I have a couple myself, but we have a bunch, and they'll be on display of ones that have the 5 on the back. This will be, we call it Cool Casual American Fare, and it'll be a place where we don't think anybody in Sedalia is doing exactly this. It'll be clean food, it'll be local food, it'll be casual but yet nice, clean food. We want it to feel like anybody in a suit or a nice dress will feel comfortable sitting next to somebody in a pair of shorts and flip-flops. It's just, we want it to be friendly. So that's here. Next to it, in the space, and connected with a stairway will be Josie Books and Records in Sedalia. Now, Josie Books and Records will be a used book and record store. I don't know if you're familiar, but the vinyl business has gone crazy. And we're lucky enough, I have a friend and a partner in some other businesses who has Josie Books and Record stores elsewhere. And he's agreed to just like let us franchise it. So once we get open, there will be Josie Books and Records Dallas, Lubbock, Texas, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Kansas City, and Sedalia. So this will be a place where you can get a glass of wine or beer, drink from the bar, go back down into Josie Books and Records, look at books, records, listen to music, whatever. We think it'll be kind of a cool place to hang out. If you've gone to a record store of late, there's one up in the Crossroads. That's where the Josie Books and Records is in Kansas City. People just go in there and hang out. And they should serve them beer, but they aren't doing it. We will. Next to that, so then there'll be a large lobby in the front, and then next to that, on the other side, will be Oxhorn Market. And Oxhorn comes from, we had a brand back in the early 1900s that we manufactured men's work clothes under the Oxhorn brand. And we still have catalogs from those days that we'll have some of the pictures blown up. This will be a place for breakfast and through the morning into lunch, and some with salads and sandwiches, and then stuff you can take home in the evenings, prepared foods. So Oxhorn operates basically during the day. Number 5 bar and bistro will be in the evenings, and Josie will be there in between all day. So that is our community that we're starting. We encourage you all to be a part of it, to come down and see it, and to enjoy it with us. Thank you. There it is. Cliff.
What's been the biggest challenge that you guys have faced in redeveloping this property?
Staying under budget and on time. It's like every project. You know, it's been challenging to limit ourselves. There's a lot there potentially, and we don't want to. We get one crack at this, and so prioritizing. You know, you have to basically decide what's the real feature here. So, yeah.
Had you considered having 1 or 2 like little studio type apartments for travelers, like when they come in for the Scott Joplin Festival, or when people come in on the train and maybe want to spend the day in town?
So we did, we entertained a number of different options, but what we thought was not being done was a nice, large, these are 1,500 square foot apartments, nice, large, high-end apartments. So that was the segment we decided that we were going to. We only have 9. Now, if we were doing 90 of them, that would be a real challenge. I'm not sure Sedalia can, I'm not sure a lot of markets can, I'm not sure Columbia could handle that. But 9, we thought, we think this is a doable deal. So we just went for a different segment. That's still a good segment, and I think it needs to be addressed, but that's not what we went to.
Are you already renting the apartment?
Yeah, so you want
I
it? Just,
saw a couple of them online.
oh yeah? Yeah, so yeah, we've already pre-leased a couple of them, and some of the office space as well. So yeah, it's we're underway.
The office space, what kind of a, so if a business wanted an office space, you know, is it already squared out?
So we have a number of different sizes, but it's very modular, and we can take it to, if you said, I want half of that, all right, we can make that happen. Only one of the spaces is basically set. And then we'll move down to, we'll move our offices down to there as well. So we're going to take up 3,500 square feet. But the spaces can be, basically, we can make them larger, or we can make them smaller just by, we'll cut a door here and make it So it's like most places where you go and want to rent office space. You know, you got to tell us how you want it finished out. Yeah.
What is the total on the second floor that you're going to have for the total square footage for office?
Rentable space would be about 15,000 square feet. So everything, the largest space currently is about 4,000 square feet. And there's another one about 3,500 and a 2,000, a couple 1,000, and then the one we have. So, but again, they basically all can be expanded or contracted. So, yeah.
Estimated completion date on the other businesses such as the restaurants and.
Yeah, so the apartments and the office space will basically be ready by the first of the year. We'll move down there in the next couple of weeks. The businesses will not open until March, simply because there's no, I mean, we could open them in January, but everybody's sort of retail fatigued at that point. And so there doesn't seem to us to put some sort of false deadline to get open to stand around when people don't really want. Not really, that's not really high season.
Vinyl records, do people come there and listen to them?
Can, yeah, absolutely. We'll have stations where you can sit and listen to them.
My thinking is, and you probably thought about this, is that who has record players in?
We do, and we sell them. So, but here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. You know, we went away from vinyl records in probably the early '80s, or there, maybe mid to late '80s. People who are real audiophiles will tell you, I'm not one of them, I don't really hear it, but the music that comes off a vinyl record has a wider band. We've compressed it all into zeros and ones by going digital with our music. But a vinyl record, and people, my daughter's one of them, she listens to vinyl records. She's 23 years old. She believes the technology is astounding. Because she's like, can you believe this? I take a piece of vinyl, I put a needle on it, it goes around in a circle, and it plays music. And I'm like, yeah, I never really thought about it, because that's just what we did, right? But she thinks it's just remarkable technology. Not only that, but she has on her wall, and all of her friends, they have, the album covers are art. And we've lost that. I mean, it's good. I mean, I can play music on my phone. I mean, I get it. We've got some good options now too. But vinyl records are really a thing to that generation.
So now what, if somebody is referring to this building or this community, or how are you?
We refer to it as the Lamy's building.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we debated a lot of different names, but in the end, that's what everybody knows it as. Everybody, I mean, everybody here in this room is, you know, probably 2 degrees away from somebody who actually worked in that building. I mean, like, at one point we had 450 people. We were the largest employer in Sedalia, I think, back in the 80s. We made 60,000 pair of jeans every week out of there, and so, I mean, people still like have come through we had an open house. They came through just because they worked there, you know, they wanted to just see what the building looked like. So we kicked around a lot of different names, but in the end, that's what it's called. And so we could call it whatever we want, but people are going to refer to it as the Lamy's building. So, yeah. So, yeah.
As you develop this community and this part of our larger community, what are the other opportunities to make this community a successful community? Are there other business opportunities? You know, if you only had, you know, in other parts nearby, you feel like there's other needs for other businesses to.
Yeah. Yeah, so we like the whole area, and we call it the original plat district, because if you look at the original plat of Sedalia, this is basically ground zero of the original plat. We're in block 2, and just to the west of us is block 1 of the original plat. So that runs from 3rd Street all the way back to going north to Clay, and goes from Missouri to Washington to where the bridge is. That's the original plat district. And the funny thing about it is, that's the only part of Sedalia that doesn't lay in east and west, because they laid it in parallel to the railroad. And if you look at Sedalia, and if you notice when you go through downtown, like Ohio turns there at 3rd Street. And so we like the entire original plat district. We think it's an underutilized part of town for a number of reasons. And probably the one thing that sort of pushed us over the edge was when Nucor announced they were coming in. I mean, we thought if we're ever going to do this project, it's now. You know, I mean, so and if we're not going to do it now, well, we may never do it. You know, so.
So John, do you have commercial elevators in the building?
Yeah, we had to put in we had 2 freight elevators when we were manufacturing. We had to take them both out. Oddly enough, not up to code. They're from, one of them dates from the late 1800s. And so we had to, if you go by, there's a new elevator shaft on the exterior of the building that we matched the brick with. It's the most expensive square footage ever added to the building, no doubt. But brand new elevator, passenger elevators, yeah.
Are you utilizing the entire building? Are you refurbishing the whole building?
The
or
whole,
is there a portion?
yeah, so the building you see here, this is a picture from probably 1940 something based on the cars. So we've been shut down for 20 years. And the original, the building that is 3 stories and what we call the main building has basically sat empty, and that's 50,000 square feet. And that's what we're rehabbing, these 3 stories. So we've utilized a number of the other parts for climate controlled storage over the years, and we didn't disturb any of that. But this main 3-story building is what we're working with here, and we're doing the whole thing, so, yeah. So the original building actually was from here, that way you can see the difference. And then it was just added on. We have pictures, and we'll have them on display and blown up. Hopefully, we get them blown up. They're really cool. Yeah.
Are you planning on putting in a wedding venue?
No, because 2 of the guys, right. So no, 2 of the guys that I work with that are on our team just opened the venue, which is, so we're going to be the kitchen to the venue out of our restaurant, but we're not getting in that business. The other thing is we could have done this. We had ideas for 20 years of what we're going to do with this. But you know, at some level, until you get the right team put together, it just never comes. And about 2 years ago, we realized, my brother and I did, that we had the right team to put together. So we started kicking around ideas. Then Nucor announced that they're coming, and so we was like, well, man, we got to pull the trigger on this thing. But you can't, we could have botched this thing up. If you don't have the right people to do this, you know, we basically are going to do all this with people on our current staff. We've done it. We added one person. There's a person named Zara Melville. If you know Zara, like, she's done a number of downtown apartments that she just did herself. She's the only one from the outside that's touched this, really. I mean, other than the contractors and whatnot. But she's on our design team, and she's ridiculous. Like, she comes up with ideas that are. So if you're going to do something like this, Zara Melville is your gal. So that's my plug for Zara.
So on the topic of employment, the company that I work for works to employ people. And so down the road, these 3 businesses coming in, and then even also your business, do you foresee, or how will you promote for employment? Will these people all come, you know, will it already be set, or will you have any openings?
Oh, no, we'll have plenty of openings. In fact, our website will come up live in the next, Cliff can tell you. Cliff, oh, yeah. Megan, so it'll come up, it'll come live, and you know, we'll have applications there. So we'll be hiring people for the restaurant, for the market, for Josie Books and Records. We've already hired a handful of people to help us.
How are you promote? How would I find out about jobs?
Well, at this point, you'd call me, because we don't have any need. But like I say, once the website comes up, then it'll be Lamy, mfg.com.
And you have a Facebook page now too that you've been
Right.
posting?
Right. So our Facebook page, I guess that's where you would find or get in contact with us now. We've had a Facebook page up for, I don't know, maybe since April.
I hate to interrupt this good conversation, but I just wanted to thank you for the unique place that you're starting here in Sedalia, and just something that we don't have. So I think me and everyone else in this room really appreciates that. Is there anything that we can do as a community to help you?
Yeah, obviously the usual, like our Facebook page and follow us on social media in general. But really what I would ask everyone and to tell friends, first of all, we'll be open on the retail side of it in March, let's say. So come and try and see what it's all about, because, and then be fair, because we're starting 3 businesses all at the same time. So if you go, well, that tea wasn't that great, give it a second shot, because we're gonna, but that's what I would ask, like, be open to the idea of what's going on down here, because it will be very cool. I generally do not like projects. I've been lucky enough and done a number of different things, and this one I like. I love the building, and so come down and enjoy, kind of take it in. It'll be a cool place to hang out, I think. So,
Very good.
great. Thank you.